Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our monthly memorial service. Please join us in prayer. Ichigo Hairi. Mediation Prayer, page 2. Let us seek the sacred mediation of Higami Konko Daiji, sincerely and wholeheartedly each and every day. May we receive the mediation of you with all our hearts and souls on this sacred very moment. Higami Konko Daiji Sama, Higami Konko Daiji Sama. Higami Konko Daiji Sama, Higami Konko Daiji Sama. Purification Prayer. Through the way of mediation, may our sincere apologies be acceptable to you, our divine parent. We acknowledge our mistakes and misunderstandings, arrogance and ignorance of your divine favor. We apologize for all our shortcomings and irreverences from past generations. Guide us to amend our way of living to reflect your divine will, with a pure, joyful, and loving heart, always one with you. Kami Prayer. Reverently we pray. The rivers of heaven and the riches of earth come flow without cease, your house without end. In heaven and earth is a light that nurtures all. In heaven and earth is the gift that orders all. For this wondrous form, for these wondrous works, let us praise Tenshi Kami no Kami. Let us praise the divine parent of the universe. Kami loves and cares for all humanity, all those who live between heaven and earth. To revere Kami as a divine parent, to live in Kami's infinite blessings, this is the way. Yet many not knowing the way are lost in greed and selfishness. They suffer a cycle of misfortunes, great is Kami's sorrow. Our founding father, Konko Daiji, suffered many trials in this world, but held fast his faith and sincerity. He received Kami's great blessing and began a life of mutual fulfillment of Kami and humanity. Humbly we pray. The divine parent's great wish was fulfilled. Konko Daiji accepted the call to mediation that leads to the mutual benefit of Kami and humanity. By day he taught the way of faith to all who sought him, expounding the blessings of heaven and earth, and healing out the touching of night. By night he prayed for those who grieve, seeking salvation for all who suffered, and healing at the dawning of day. The years passed, the world was changed. He did not waver from his task, the divine task of mediation. Thus was given the sacred Shunichi Kawahara, the guiding principle for our daily life. The divine favor was thus renewed, and blessings flowed universally, establishing the way of eternal prosperity, the realization of Yano Sensei. By this wonderful revelation, we are given knowledge of the way. Through all the hardships of this world, the pain of body and soul, the way of mediation teaches us to turn our hearts to Him. Without regard for day or night, whether we are near or far, the way of mediation teaches us to pray with total trust. For living unaware of divine favor, we offer our sincere apologies and pledge to mend our ways. Let us live our faith every day, seeking and rejoicing in our divine favor. Let us care for those in need and invite them to the way. Let us guide those who are lost and awaken them to a life of purpose. Kami is fulfilled in us. We are fulfilled in Kami. May this way of mutual fulfillment be manifested in this world. May Kami's wish for true peace and the well-being of all people be fulfilled. So we humbly pray, so we earnestly pray. 一度経でピッパーへへずなくな。
Multiplication message for the monthly renewal service. In the presence of Ikea Konko Life, the life force 18 Tainukan. On behalf of Konko Mission Wahiawa, Ayasu Yan, where the still praying for gather here for monthly renewal service on this day, October 20th, 2022. In this service, we seek to honor and extend our sincere gratitude for the blessings we have enjoyed to this day, and pray for the spiritual fulfillment of Midama spirit of the people who have been affiliated with this church. It is a great honor to serve this church for the last 45 years, along with my wife and our children, in support of the people in the faith community. After succeeding the late Reverend Haruko, who established this church at the branch church of Konko Mission Open in 1940. All of these blessings are possible because of tourism mediation, which we appreciate the fortunate encounter and twist of fate that Reverend Haruko was saved through encounter with the Reverend Kodama and able to become a Konko minister. We have been received divine blessings for the time of our ancestors and to our descendants. We receive blessings for living and even after we pass on. In memory and respect for our deceased ministers, family members, and friends, we pray that the virtue of becoming Konko life and the life force and Tea Kainukami enable the Midama spirit to be fulfilled and at peace. This year marks the 82nd year since this church was initiated. None of this would have been possible without your divine guidance and blessings and support of many people. We continue to extend our prayers for the people of Hawaii, as well as the world that are experiencing hardships and suffering. We also apologize and pray for the environment that have been damaged and polluted by decades of chemical and unsustainable element created by humans. We are the life force Tenchi Kaino. With ours to be of service to you in helping others. As utmost impression of thanks for the blessing we will be able to enjoy. Please let us help each other and guide people who live life in suffering. Through the virtue we carry Konko lion and the life of Tenchi Kainoka, and be known to the people that they can attain peace of mind. I pray that the blessed service is good. One and
Nauru, please. Kairi. Presentation of Tenchi Kakitsuke, page 6.
Diami Konko Daijin Tenchi Kare no Kami Shini Yorae Okagewa Kokoro ni Ari Konko Sanjite Tanomi. Praise sincerely with all your heart, be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever, on this very day of prayer. Kirami Konko Daijin Tenchi Kare no Kami Shini Yorae Okagewa wa Kokoro ni Ari Konko Sanjite Tanomi. Praise sincerely with all your heart, be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever, on this very day we pray. Adoration Prayer, page 7. We lift our eyes and all toward heaven soaring above. We lift our eyes and all toward heaven soaring above. We bow our heads in prayer toward us each and deep. Living on such gifts of Kami's great giving, how happy and grateful we are. The mediation of Yano Konko Daijin does not stop for us a single day. The protection of the divine current members of far and wide. The blessings of Kami flow without limit to all generations. The ways of Kami are mysterious and wondrous beyond our understanding. Day by day, earnestly and fervently, we praise the virtues of Kami, the honor and power of Kami. Shintoku Sanji, page 29. Shintoku Sanji. Oye matsuremba tendakaku,
Oye matsuremba tendakaku, orogami matsuremba chiwa atsushi kami no megumi ni ikasaru ni no saiwai zo arigataki wagai ki kami no ontori sugi hitoki mo kakuru toki no naku tenchi no kami no onmamori to okichi kaki no hedate nashi kami tsukushiri wa yorozu yo ni amane kumichite hate shinaku kan hakarai wa kusushikute hito no omori zo yo wataru wa rera 祭りでひたすらに神の御影をたたえますらん。神の比例を仰ぎますらん。
一度入り。一度入り。Mitama Prayer, page 12. Spirits of those who have gone before us,
You are giving the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge the duties faithfully, each according to your Son of years. You will remember with honor your life restored from generation to generation, honor the foundation of our society and the roots of our families. Through the mysterious workings of Kami, you enter the Konko faith. You walk the way of Konko Daishi, respecting the way of divine return. You must prepare your faith to take it to the world beyond and leave pure sinners. Our gratitude is boundless for your loving favors. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you to stand by us each and every one. We seek the favor of Kami and help us fulfill our tasks as people without a king. Connect us, guide us, enrich us. That we may never lose the way of faith, that we may it down to all generations, that we may live peace and prosperity in our home. Protect us, guide us, and enrich us. 一度手入れ please bow your heads in prayer.
Monthly memorial service, 最新涙はすべて、Funny Minister of Konko Wahiawa, the late Reverend Haruko Takahashi, the Reverend Pastoral and Hiyasage of Konko Church of Amazon, the Reverend Masayuki Ekike Kodama, the Reverend Shunichi Yoshino of Konko Ministration of Hum, the Reverend Hidejiro Etoshi Kosaka of Konko Church of Kawachi, and David Sensei, the people who have ever been guided and collected in the Konko Wahiawa and departed in the month of October. Yoshino Sugako no Mitama no Janet Kimie Baga no Mitama no Hirami Ishii no Mitama no Shizuye Yamamoto no Mitama no Richard Mankichi Hirota no Mitama no San Shin no Mitama no Henry Yoshiichi Wahiawa no Mitama no Sato Hasso no Mitama no Francis Yoshiji Suwa no Mitama no Isamu Tokumoto no Mitama no Kenneth Kenji 元の御霊のパスポレンブルスターの御霊の第一樋口の御霊の和義木谷の御霊のその明石勝の御霊のイリスイサヨ青林の御霊の With deepest reverence, we are gathered here today, October 25th, 2022, in observance of monthly memory service, in renewed remembrance, honor, appreciation, and praise for those who came before us, and became the foundation of our blessed lives. On behalf of Konko Wahiawa and Yano, we are state of praying. Yamita Master, each of us has been born into this world to live through the grace and love of ancient kind of life force. From the moment of conception and throughout our lives, we have been immersed and fully saturated with their blessings. One day, we will return to the spiritual food upon departing from your spiritual existence. I found the Konko line state. Those who are living between heaven and earth are blessed to dream authentic kind of time. Even after death, we shall also receive the blessing authentic kind of time. Whether we are living or dead, we must remember that heaven and earth will be all uphold as such Konko line showed up the blessed relationship in life and death. Always remember the blessing of our life force transcend time, space, and place, and distance. I found the Konko line with the light that the sun is a divine blessing. The rain, the food is a divine blessing as well. All humans are also to live in the midst of divine blessings. People are born amid divine blessings, if amid divine blessings, and die amid divine blessings. Through divine arrangement, you are being guided with Konko office. Your diligence and sincerity in pursuit of the teachings of the founder Konko Laishu enable you to understand and appreciate the way Konko face through the work of divine mediation within Konko Laishu. We offer our humble blessing and sincere gratitude for the work of the Mitama Spirit. With deepest appreciation, we are gathered here to remember you in appreciation of your all and contributions to our lives in the past and present. Please accept the many offerings placed before you and sincere prayers of hope as token of our sincere thanks for your presence in our lives. We extend our prayer and thanks for your spiritual work and to help, guide, protect, and comfort us in time of need. We extend our deep appreciation and heartfelt gratitude for enabling us to appreciate the operation of this church for the last 82 years. This could not have been possible if it were not for you. We pray that through your virtue and Mitama Kami, the Konko peace will be passed on from generation to generation, and the true blessing of peace will be realized by men. Thank you again for all you.
No. 喜怒哀楽 Sanji, page 36.
よいよのやわわんが
家の神はが神と心尽くしていつきますらな心尽くしていつきますらなとときびよやの神たちよ海のこのために家の柱を沈めたてたまい初子のために世のなりわいを守り助けたまい隠り世の見えぬ境にましませども見美しみの御心は美しいよに変わらせたまわず先に玉のまさきくさびはえたまいくしみたまのくしみに恵みたまいて志は薪の柱の動きなくなりわいは結ぶつなげの緩みなく真心清らに励み努めしめたまいからやからやわらぎあいて日に手にうらやすく楽しましめたまいついに移し世のことを得て神の御門に参らん時には必ずしも迎え取りたまいに美しいよ大浦しめたまわんものと神の実り絶えなるおかしこみかたじけな耳よやの恵みのおぼろげならぬお嬉しい喜び回すことを見心もすずやかにぴこしめしたまえと申すあなくしびのみよやのみたまあなくしびのみよやのみたまあなととのみよやの神あなととのみよやの神
一度入り 73, the Konko Faith Art Tree. We believe in Tenchi Kani no Kami, the divine parent of the universe. Our founder Konko Daishin embraced Kami's revelations and as divine mediator answered the call to eternal mediation. Our continuing goal from moment to moment is to realize Kami within each of us. We are fulfilled through Kami. Kami is fulfilled through us. The happiness of everyone is Kami's greatest wish. We give thanks for Kami's blessings, mysterious wonders of the name. Blessings begin in our own hearts filled with harmony and joy. We pray wholeheartedly to Kami, today and every day, trusting Kami as our loving parent, finding peace of mind. We live our faith in service to Kami, each other, and our world, nurturing and nurtured, mutually fulfilled. We bear those who have gone before us, spirits one with Kami, caring for us eternally. We respect and appreciate other paths, taken by humanity towards spiritual fulfillment. Good morning again, everyone. Thank you very much for being here today, everyone. In San Francisco, with just Bernie and Tom. Thank you for coming all the way to Wahiawa Church to attend our 9 o'clock service. Today is the monthly memorial service for the month of October, and as you heard, Yano Sensei called out the names of people who passed away. And when he calls out the names, I remember their faces and like the general aura of the energy they give, you know. Like, oh yeah, they were so nice. Oh yeah, I remember the potato salad. Oh yeah, yeah. It's like the quick, short, good memories of them just pop up in your memory. So it's really nice to hear and remember them. So in Konko, I love that feature where we remember the people who passed away. So 2 people in the Hawaii Konko faith community have passed away in the month of October. And October 2nd is when Mr. Shunichi Kawahara passed away. He was a church member of the Wahiawa Konko Mission. He was also a member of the Oahu chorus group, and we used to gather once a month at the Honolulu church to sing, to eat snacks, to talk about the faith. And at the end of the year, we go to Toma's karaoke, and we'd have a karaoke end of the year party, and he would join and he would sing his song. When Kawahara-san, when he gradually weakened, and he was confined, we encouraged him that we still gotta go karaoke, and we still didn't go to that our end of the year service, our party. So we still gotta sing Kawahara-san genki dashite, and you know, even if he was weak, he had that twinkle in his eye and that warm smile. Like, oh yeah, we gotta sing karaoke still, yeah. I really miss him. One thing I remember about him was when he first joined our chorus group, like a couple of decades ago, he used to always say, I'm a logical man, scientific. I don't feel the presence of Kami-sama. I don't feel Kami-sama. But he kept attending the chorus group. We sang, ate snacks, talked about the faith. And I guess all those consecutive months and years of talking about the faith, gradually the faith sinks in into the soul, and then he'll become gradually able to understand the benevolence of Kami-sama, the favors, the blessings. And yeah, I will always remember him for his cheerful smile. And towards the end, he was like really like, oh, Kami-sama no kage, Kami-sama no kage, it's all divine blessings, divine blessings. So we could really see that spiritual growth, the faith growth in him. So yeah, I'm gonna really miss Kawahara-san. Then on October 2nd, one day after Kawahara-san's passing, Reverend Sugako Yoshino passed away. October 3rd, one day after Kawahara-san passed away, Reverend Sugako Yoshino, Associate Minister of the Konko Mission of Honolulu, passed away. And she became a Mitama spirit. Many people we've known been passing away in these couple of years. It's strange. Anyways, I knew Sugako Sensei ever since I could remember. She came like 42 years ago. Sugako Sensei came to Hawaii. 41 years ago. And every time I would go to Ore Mairi, Ore Sampai, Every time we have our memorial services or monthly services, the next day my dad would go to Honolulu Church to do Ore Sampai. Thank you that we were able to conduct our service here, so we go to Honolulu Church. And I used to tag along with my dad. And every time I go to the Honolulu Church, Sugako Sensei would always give me a soda or like a juice wrapped in a half-cut paper towel and give me a snack or two. And she'd always be happy that I come. Oh, Kazuko-chan, yo kitane, yo kitane. Thank you for coming. And when I was a sophomore in high school and I got my driver's permit, I drove on the freeway. Like, I was really scared. I remember the first visit I went to the Honolulu Church. And my hands were all sweaty and I was ultra concentrating on the road. And then I arrived at the Honolulu Church safely. And Sugako Sensei was really happy for me for being able to drive safely. I have so many fond memories of Sugako Sensei. And she did not have any children of her own. But she supported the growth of so many people, many people. Who came to live at the church. A lot of people came from Japan to study abroad, study English, and they'll stay at the Honolulu Church for a few years, and they'll be under the care and guidance of Sugako Sensei and Yoshino Sensei. So I believe that Yoshino Sensei and Sugako Sensei nurtured more than 40 individuals, my mom told me this morning, as if they were her own children. Many of them ended up becoming Konko ministers, and are doing Goyo today. My two brothers, they also lived at the Honolulu Church for some time, Rodney Sensei and David Sensei, and also Todd Sensei, Roy Sensei, and even the current head minister, Reverend Koichi Konko. I remember him when he was, I think, right after high school, I think, he came to Hawaii and he lived for a few years to study English. And he became minister too, and became the head minister after college. Okay, I don't remember too clearly, but I just remember him. Koichi says, yeah, he used to have pierced ears. He was kind of a rebel. But through all their guidance, they all became Konko ministers. So they have that special spiritual touch that they offer to these people. So Sugako Sensei really cared for each individual and prayed for them. And just this past Friday, Sugako Sensei's Shusai and a 10th day memorial service was held at the Hosoi Garden, Monterey. And in Konko-kyo, and also in Buddhism too, we have kind of similar memorial services where we're known to have several different kinds of memorial services, and memorial services after like 10 days or like blah, 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 blah. So in Konko-kyo, when somebody passes away, they have a prayer at the bedside. Then there's a shusai. Then there's a 10-day service, a 50-day service, 1-year service, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 15, 25, 30, and so on and so forth. And some people think, oh, why do we have to have so many services? And many times, however, this memorial service process, it becomes cumbersome, especially to Westerners, who it's like one time and done kind of thing, And for family and friends to gather past the 1-year mark, it's kind of rare, even for Konko-kyo members. And people, they go on with their daily lives, and we know someone for their lifetime, but when they die, memories of them begin to fade almost immediately, right? But in Konko-kyo, we remember, and just like how Yano Sensei called the people's names, we continue to remember and hold them in our lives. And when the family member no longer remembers, we still continue to call their names. There are some people's names that I don't even know because they were from Haruko Takahashi Sensei's time, and we still call their names. So I think that was amazing. In regards to the many services post-death of an individual, I asked Yano Sensei, what is the significance of each service? Why do we have so many different services, I asked, And he said the shusai is a service in which the minister, in place of the deceased, offers prayers of gratitude for the entire life that individual had. Because some people, they just die without even knowing, like in the morning, they didn't wake up. So they didn't have that time to say, oh, Kami-sama, from my birth till now, I want to give thanks to you for all the blessings I've received. Didn't have time to say that, so they just died. But the shusai is a service where Yano Sensei or the sensei, in your place, will say thank you to Ikian Konko Raismo and Tenchi Kano Kami-sama and say thank you for the life that this person was able to hold. So my dad really explained it really well the other day, and I was like, oh, that's what it means. So like the 10th day service, the Tokasai, is much like the orientation period for a Mitama spirit who have newly entered the spiritual world. They are still considered a ni Mitama. A ni Mitama is considered a baby Mitama, a newbie. They don't know what's going on. They're like, body's gone. What? Where am I? What am I going to do? How am I supposed to act like a Mitama spirit? The Tokasai spirit is the orientation period. Through the blessings and virtue of Ikian Konko Dajin-sama and Tenshi Kayama Kami-sama, the ministers will act as like an agent, a preceptor for the new Mitama, so it can have a smooth transition into the Mitama world as a Mitama spirit. It takes 50 days for the Mitama spirit to become a Mitama no Kami. So when you die, you don't automatically become a Mitama no Kami. It takes some time. And I was thinking about all this, and it's just like, being a new hire at a new job, which you have no experience. When we die, we suddenly enter into the Mitama world without knowing anything, right? Without knowing what to expect or how to live as a Mitama spirit. But after 50 days, you are no longer at that probationary status. 50 days is like probation. And you can function as a Mitama no Kami to help guide, protect your loved ones. So just like in the real world, we can't just be thrown into a new job without proper training. We have to get used to it. We have to get used to the environment. So the probationary period is usually between 1 to 6 months, right? When in any job. So the up until 50 days, that's like your probationary period. Like everything's kind of new to it, so you're kind of getting used to it. But it's not like after the 50-day probation, you might be kicked out of the Mitama world. That's not going to happen. You're going to still remain within the Mitama world. But what we want you to know is that the Mitama spirit needs guidance. They need prayers. Especially a newbie Mitama spirit, they don't even realize they are a Mitama spirit yet. So, also that Tokasai is kind of like acknowledging to the Mitama spirit, the person that passed away. Hey, you died. Did you know that? Did you know that you died on this day? Well, you died. And we just want to give thanks for the life that you lived so far. So people's prayer for the Mitama spirit is very important. They help to energize the spirit. They help to guide them. So they really count on us to remember them. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
morning. Thank you for coming to today's monthly memorial service. Today I kept thinking it was Sunday service and not the memorial service, but when I looked on the schedule for it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to talk today. So just fired. Just kept thinking of what am I gonna talk about. I usually do the same thing pretty much every time I come up here. And I usually talk about what I experienced most recently. I guess I've been having like a little bit of a rough time recently. For several years, there's been multiple challenges in my life, and I had a dream recently, and our faith, they said that there are some messages that get relayed through our dream. In that dream, I was in Japan. I don't know if I was on vacation or whatever. I just knew I was in Japan, and then I was like on the train, and then I lost everything. Like I lost my luggage, I lost my passport, I lost my wallet, my phone, like nothing. I had nothing left. I was like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do? I just kept like wandering around in the city. And I know I was in the city. I could see like all the buildings, all the people walking around me, and I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna get around? And in that dream, I just kept wandering, and I was with somebody in that dream, and then I kept walking, looking down on the ground, and it was like I just kept getting more, not depressed, I just kept getting more worried about what's gonna happen to me in that dream. And then I all of a sudden I look up and look to the right, and then I see like a sign that says like Konko Church of like Amagi, and I was like, no way. Like, I ended up walking to a church in the dream, but in that dream I saw my dad's brother, Masateru. Oji-san in there. So Uncle Masateru, who's like currently like paralyzed, I guess, from like the waist down, from what I know. So he was either walking or riding a bicycle to the church as well. And then he was like saying hi to like me and the other person when we were walking to. We were both headed to that church. I was like, oh my god, I found someplace that I know that can help me. That's what I felt. When I saw the church, I felt a sense of like relief. And then I saw a familiar face, which was my uncle, who was either walking. I could barely see the legs, but I know he was upright and like walking like towards the actual church, going to the church, and just kind of like greeting me and saying hi David, kind of thing. He wasn't saying, I can't hear what they were saying, but I could tell that the mouth was moving. So there's that episode, and then there's a time I really did get lost in Japan when I went to Shikoku, where my uncle's house is at. I think I was still in high school at that time, or maybe I just graduated. Went to the house, and then back then there was no phone. Like there's no smartphone where you can just like Google something and look up the address or look up the maps and stuff like that. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is where I gotta go. I just made like landmarks to just like kind of like trace my way back to the house. So I just went wandering around in Shikoku, like in the town, and I got lost. Like there are multiple bridges that I crossed. There were short bridges that I crossed, and then I was like, I went to buy some candy, and then I was like walking home, and it's like, oh my god, I don't know where I'm going now. I'm like totally lost. And I was like, there's no way to contact them because I didn't have enough money to use the phone. And this is real. Like I really did get lost in Japan, and I was like, crap. And I don't know anybody's phone number or anything. And I just kept walking to where I thought was the right path, and it wasn't. I kept going deeper and deeper, like further away from the actual house. But then I ended up at church. I ended up at the church that they attended, which was Kawanoshi. Yeah. So that happened. Right? I was like, oh my god, there's a church right here. Maybe they can help me contact my uncle. and then my dad was there to pick me up. So I waited there, and then they picked me up. So my dad says I wasn't worried about him. Like he can just bury himself in the leaves. It was winter time, so it was actually kind of cold. And it's if I was lost, maybe I would freeze myself. But it was at a cold time, and my dad was I don't care. It's fine. So when he was talking to my uncle and stuff. So there's the episode where I actually got lost and I found my way to the church, and then there's the episode where I got lost in my dream and I ended up being at a church. I just, for some reason, I just saw my uncle who couldn't walk was walking or riding his bicycle. But the main thing that I felt through that experience and through those two experiences, the dream and the real life one, is that I didn't have any way to really get back. I had no money, and I had no communication or whatever. All I could think was please tell me something. Let me find a way to get back. Once you strip everything, I felt the faith is what's left, and something that you can truly rely on to help guide you throughout your life. So no matter how much money I had, or I felt someone was telling me a message that I'll strip you of everything, all the things you rely on right now, the money, your phone, your ID, everything. I'll strip all of that and see how you do. And in the end, it felt this is what Kami-sama was telling me, to just not forget to have faith during the difficult times when you feel you're lost. When you trust in Kami-sama, practice faith, Kami-sama will guide you to the right direction to help provide peace in the very end. So that's pretty much what I felt. I can't go any deeper, but that was a reminder that in the end, when you feel you're lost, to trust in Kami-sama, pray to Kami-sama, and ask for guidance, and you will receive that. Just gotta trust the way things are going throughout the life, and then later on you'll see the result. When you look back in the past, this happened for a reason, kind of thing. Okay, thank you.
I listened to David Sensei's speech. I remember remark made by the Sensei at the Kawane's church at my native church in Ehime, Japan. He used to say, "Ushi no hanaguri." I don't know, ring nose.
Nose ring.
Nose ring. So
Nose ring of a cow.
cow can be controlled. So, no matter how much he tried to escape from Kami-sama, away from Kami-sama will let you go. Very cool, but some people may forget to go to come to church. Forget about Konko face. And sometimes Kami-sama gives kind of sign, remind. But most people fail to recognize Kami-sama's message. But in their case, the Kami-sama seems to guide him through his dreams. It's really amazing. So here I also remember my younger brother who was almost away from Konko camp. He worked in the Tokyo area and he played around, almost forget about Kami-sama. He was financially very suffering. At one point, he was so exhausted in life. But he was walking around the town in the Yokohama area. When he looked up, he found the Konko sign, low, 8 bells, Konko low. And then he went to the Konko church of Maruko. He was insane, died about 2 or 3 years. But eventually he died, collapsed on the stairs of the building. But for 3 or 3 years, he tried to go to church. And so towards the mediation, he gained some virtue, I believe. I met him at the 10th memorial, my father. He was fine. But soon after that, he passed away. So even those situations, Kami-sama tried to help. And he responded. He was guided to see Konko Road, introduced to the Konko Church of Maruko Church. Sensei really helped him to regain that resource of the Konko Church. He was actually third generation believer like me. But he tried to get away from that Konko tradition. He was a strong believer of my mother. And my mother also prayed for him to continue Konko faith. So it's Ushino Hanaguri.
Nose-ring.
So if you Kami-sama do not care about, not actually Kami-sama can each everyone. But if you're not aware of this Kami-sama caring, we may have no feeling of being guided by Kami-sama. The more you are trained, you get virtue through Konko based. The more trained, more test will be given to Kami-sama. This can be the same. It also can be the same. Yes, I believe. Anyway, we are going to hold the interface ACRP meeting. Pittsburgh. And give a church in Hawaii. This year, 30th year anniversary. I've been involved in this church, in this interface activity from the very beginning. Beginning was initiated by the Reverend Miyake. He came over here at the 50th anniversary of bombing Pearl Harbor by Japan. So, yeah. From that moment, he tried to form interfaith community. He held their so-called Owabi no Omatsai services in apologies to those who were dead or killed at bombing, or maybe not bombing, but all the maybe injustice of human beings. came not just for apology for Japan attack the US, but for any victim were killed by injustice or any other cause. But maybe my understanding. So, if you come, please join us. It's a very one founding minister said that if Hawaiian Conference of Religions of Peace is very unique organization, cannot find any other place in the world because of the geographical location of Hawaii, isolation, and the basic element of Hawaiian culture. We help this unique organization. So, just try to experience the difference of any other religious organization. Anyway, thank you very much.
Konko Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami Shin ni Nuga Kayo ga kokoro ni ari kongetsu konichi de tanomei Yami Konko Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami Shin ni Nuga Kayo ga kokoro ni ari kongetsu konichi de tanomei.
Biography. Page 67. Second part. The news to expand.
67? What? Second part what?
David? The remodeling, right?
The need to expand.
Oh.
Huh?
Okay, go ahead.
The need to expand did not end with this remodeling project, as more and more worshippers sought Bunji's assistance. In June of 1862, Kami instructed that a new toilet be built at the south end of the east building and another at the east side of the main house. Later, space for two small rooms in the east building was created when its east wall was moved out 6 feet. In December, Kami instructed that the main house be remodeled. See Appendix B for layout of Bunji's property following the remodel.
the remodeling and expansion of Bunji's home would continue without any mishaps throughout the remainder of 1862. However, a more critical situation confronted Bunji's family and Otani village when a measles epidemic reached the village during the summer of 1862. Bunji was forewarned on June 4th that Asakichi would have a difficult year. Asakichi was told to worship at the Gion Shrine in present-day Hiroshima on June 13th. It was believed that the deity of Gion Shrine was the god of epidemics, and the 13th day of the month was a ceremonial day for the deity. Asakichi went by boat to the shrine, and when he returned the next day, he seemed excessively exhausted and spent the next 2 days lying on the bench outside. Bunji was told that rather than being exhausted, Asakichi had contracted the measles. He was given the needed care for measles and recovered completely after 12 days.
It was also revealed to Bunji that his other children would contract measles during the month of June, which they did, but were able to recover by July 1st. Bunji was pleased and thanked Kami for allowing the children to recover without any special care or dietary restrictions. Kami had Bunji set a good example for others to follow.
Toward the end of July, many people came to ask Bunji for mediation about measles. One of them was Kyuzo Suzuki, who related that his pregnant wife had contracted the measles and was critically ill, and how the doctor gave up hope for recovery and left. Bunji gave Kyuzo a bottle of sacred sake from the altar and told him to hurry home and have her drink some. While Bunji was giving a prayer, Kyuzo returned to give thanks and said that his wife had received divine blessings almost immediately.
Another example is Kimitaro Endo, whose wife from the pregnant and afflicted with the measles. The messenger sought Bunji on behalf of Furikawa's mother, who asked that he come immediately since the doctor had given up hope for her. Bunji prayed to Kami and was told to go and return the next day and be without worry. Pray single-heartedly and
records, as written by the village headman, confirmed the outbreak of measles in August and the severe suffering experienced by many households.
Chapter 4, Opposition and Upheaval. Even before the completion of the remodeling and expansion project and the outbreak of measles, more and more people began to spread stories about activities at Bunji's workshop hall to increase. This led to efforts by mountain priests to suppress Bunji's religious activities, sometimes aggressively and violently.
This group had good reason to oppose and harass Bunji. Their primary function was to, according to the mountain priests, they themselves were recognized as the official authority on Konjin and the days and directions. From their perspective, Bunji's activities and so-called faith did not have official recognition and therefore could not be tolerated. The idea that they might even be prospering from such activities added to their anger.
The mountain priests, also known as mountain aesthetic priests, refer to Japanese mountain aesthetic hermits, with a long tradition of being endowed with supernatural powers and traditional Japanese mysticism. During Konko Daijin's lifetime, their reputation for mystical insight and knowledge grew, and their organization grew tighter. Many of the masters of the aesthetic discipline began to be appointed to high spiritual positions within the governmental hierarchy. These priests and their temples began to gain political influence, which was used in an attempt to squash those they felt were competitors, such as Konko Daijin's religious activities. On March 24, 1862, two mountain priests from Wahiawa Temple, representing the doctrine they interpreted in one honor. They opened the ritual appointed diary. The priest requested that Bunji stop practicing faith in Konko. She known that Taki
determined to stop doing this activity, the same two priests visited Shiemo again and told him they were going to remove items from Bunji's altar. Shiemo was comply and had a villager accompanied to the the two priests removed the flags, sacred mirror, and gold paper offerings. The Korean believer had take whatever they wanted. It was said that on the way home, the priest was holding a rain shovel. One of them even fell into an area, explaining what in that thoroughly saw. Right.
おはようございます。Good morning. Thank you for coming again. ただいまから歌を4つ 4 songs we're going to sing. So page 58. 親神の夜差しのままにからです。よろしくお願いします。 道の見かけを遠く In a heart caught up in doubt and worry, I face my life every morning, wanting to shine, but somehow holding back joy and fear so within my heart. Still I know even one as small as I can run into someday and find a shining, shimmering, brilliant light coming from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. When I'm down and ready to surrender, when times are hard and it seems so dark, just knowing each day that I'm never on my own gives me strength and courage to try harder. Holding hands with my friends standing by my side, swinging on together we will walk to the shining, shimmering, brilliant light coming from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. ありがとうございました。Please have a seat. Thank you very much. See you online. Konko大臣天地金の神神に願い、おかげは我が心にあり、今月今日で頼み。手紙金光大臣天地金の神神に願い、おかげは我が心にあり、今月今日で頼み。
Thank you again for joining us. You have a wonderful new week. Bye-bye.